fantasy football warriors. We have returned.
We're actually back.
We're back. Here we go, right? Week
11.
All right, waiver wire options for week 11. Obviously, waiver wire is not incredibly exciting at this point in the season, this week in particular, but
it's kind of stash season.
Yeah, there's always little nuggets that you can plant into your benches so that you have them for later, right? Good locker room presences, like Tom Brady.
Find Tom Brady.
Just go find Tom Brady, put him on your bench. He's a good locker room guy.
Yep. Find Gronk, etc., etc.
Find Gronk. Right, so here we are, bye week teams, Cardinals, Panthers, Giants, Bucks. Of note, obviously, if you have James Conner,
Baker,
big one. Kyler, right? Giants, neighbors, Bucks,
Baker.
Oh, Baker. That's right. We said
and
Baker
Tyron
already.
Tracy for the Giants. There's some notable things
Yeah, there's some notables there.
Chuba Hubbard.
Yep. So definitely, hopefully you have your options already set up on your bench. Hopefully you have handcuffs already stashed. But if not, we'll see if we can help you find some nuggets.
So our high-end options here. Trey Benson starting off. He's been trending up the last couple of weeks, obviously. He was a rookie everyone was excited about. Talented prospect. And the time of his touches kind of increasing is happening right now. And now they go on bye. And you always talk about the rookie bump post-bye.
Yeah,
so
post-bye.
He's already been performing well. He's already been getting the nod from the coaching staff to take meaningful snaps. So all positive things for Trey Benson stock. And he's... like I said, he's been playing very well, and he's been looking good. The running game for Arizona's been looking good. And post-bye here, we could see like a true 50-50 split with James Conner kind of happen. If you're a James Conner owner, you probably don't want to hear that. But if you're a James Conner owner, you need to get Trey Benson on your bench.
Absolutely.
James Conner has not been the perfect semblance of health in his career either. Trey Benson has a ton of upside as he's been showing standalone value, and he has a ton of upside if James Conner were to get hurt down the stretch. Yep. This Cardinals running game has really been finding room the last couple of games. Next player is Cam Akers. Similar sort of situation, not playing as well, but he's been clearly the second back in kind of the pecking order there since he got traded, and Aaron Jones left last game with an injury. I don't think it's anything significant.
Yeah, he came back for the last few minutes of the game, so I think if it was
super
really
serious,
severe,
anything,
he probably wouldn't have done that, even though they carted him off.
Yeah, something to monitor nonetheless. And I mean, same with James Conner. Aaron Jones hasn't been the perfect picture of health in his career either. He's had durability concerns especially the last few years. So when that happens, you kind of have Cam Akers there as a good handcuff, and he's been playing some snaps as it is. I wouldn't say he has standalone value the same way Trey Benson does, but he does have a good handcuff on a good offense.
Absolutely. If something happens to Aaron Jones, you don't want him.
Ricky Pearsall. Another one, a talented rookie.
I grabbed that chap and put him on my bench.
Love to see it.
I did.
Mr. Pearsall obviously been out most of the season with a gunshot wound, but he's back and he's playing, and the opportunity has certainly skyrocketed since
you already know how I feel about people that get shot and come back. Comeback player of the year.
There you go. Ain't gonna happen.
Probably not. Probably go to some undeserving quarterback.
Damn it. Anyway, he had a productive day off of last week's bye, and we'll see if it continues. Like I said, the door is wide open for Ricky Pearsall to continue.
Yep,
so
it is. Definitely
worth an ad if he's on your waiver wire. And outside of that, it's, like I said in the opening, it's stash season. There's not going to be a ton of waiver wire options popping up from here on out, so make room for good stashes, because you never know one of these injuries is going to hit one of these running backs, and you have potential league winners here. So
absolutely.
Some of the ones that come off my mind that I would be prioritizing are Tajay Spears, Braylon Allen, Ray Davis, Blake Corum,
Balake Karoom,
all guys that I think if their starter went down, they would get the bulk of the touches and be plenty fine with them. So stash. This is stash season. Make sure you're finding room on your bench for some of these high handcuff stashes. You should have a pretty good starting lineup at this point, especially as we start heading into the playoffs here. Make sure you're stashing people. This is when This is when injuries can happen, and if you've already got these guys stashed, you don't have to pay a high price, and you don't have to play a game of whose peckers longer and with the waiver wire, and you can just have them on your bench. So I would definitely be looking to do that. Like I said, these are a few that come off the top of my head, but there are other handcuffs that would be plenty fine with getting them on your bench. I mean, Devin Singletary is a handcuff at this point.
Yeah,
Someone happened to
for
Tyrone
real.
Tracy, but get them on your bench, and from there we have our streaming options. At
Bo
QB.
Nix, my savior, my hero.
Yep.
God, dog it, man. I can't. Bo Nix been playing well for himself. I have a sour taste in my mouth with Bo Nix because I needed him to come through for me one week and he didn't. However, Bo Nix has been playing very well. If you need to stream a quarterback this week, he's got the Falcons.
Falcons are allowing 2+ passing touchdowns in every game since week 5. So we've got 5 straight weeks of 2+ passing touchdowns.
That's
that
right.
could be Bo
You got a
Nix's this
quarterback
week.
here that's going to do it with his arms, his legs, right? He moves. Had a jumping touchdown catch just,
Couple weeks
ago. Like, he can get it done. And especially if you're missing out, like
Kyler Murray,
four teams on bye.
Baker Mayfield, etc.
If you need someone, Bo Nix can come through for you.
The other streaming option I would be looking at is Jared Goff versus the Jaguars. Lands a premier matchup against the Jags this week. Love to see it. Should have an efficient day.
Oh yeah.
And really, if you are in need for whatever reason, I haven't looked at the buys for next week, but maybe you might need him next week. This might be a premium spot to pick him up for next week as well because he lands the Colts. That's another great matchup for QB. So here's a couple of good matchups coming both at home, coming up the next 2 weeks where you could be having productive games with Mr. Goff. If you need to stream a defense, I would be looking at the Jets versus Colts. Joe Flacco has thrown 4 interceptions, fumbled twice, and has been sacked 7 times over the last just 2 weeks. Just the 2 weeks. So he's kind of out there just flailing around, looking old. So I'll take the Jets to capitalize on that.
Absolutely.
Texans just picked off Jared Goff 5 times last night as of recording this. Crazy. Now he gets Cooper Rush or Trey Lance. The combination of the two here coming up this week. I expect the DeMeco Ryans-led Texans to embarrass them. Show who's the real team in Texas.
There you go.
Texas,
I was going to say the same thing.
And they're top 7 in both sacks and interceptions over the entire season. So the Texans have been playing very well defensively, and they get backup caliber quarterback play.
Oh yeah,
coming up this week, and
Go
a
get
Cowboys team that's been falling apart. So
go get it.
that's what I was looking at if you were looking to stream. And that is the waiver wire. As we said, it is
There we
brief,
have it.
but please be looking to stash the handcuffs. That's the big takeaway here. Even the high-end options were relatively handcuffs, right, other than Ricky Pearsall. So it's the time. It's getting late in the season. Players are getting tired. Players are getting worn down. The tread's running low. This is when injuries can hit at any point, and you want to just already have those guys on your bench instead of, as I said, playing a game of chicken on the waiver wire and hoping you get these players. Just have them on your roster already. You probably should be able to make room at this point in your season. You kind of know who's worth a roster spot, who's not. So stash your handcuffs late in the season as we head into the last few weeks here before the playoffs. It's getting real.
It's getting real. All right, so there you have it. Fantasy Football Warriors, Week 11. Waiver wire, more of a stash wire, if you will, but this is the time to do it, right? So, again, as always, if you enjoy the content, leave us a like, leave us a comment. What are your rivalries that are coming up this week? We want to know about it. Let's talk about it. Did we miss a waiver wire option that you feel should have been mentioned? Leave it in the comment. Let's talk about it, right? Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any content. Great to be back. Here we are into the home stretch for the fantasy playoffs coming up. It's an exciting time. So, like we said, join the militia. We want a fantasy football warrior in every league on the planet. That's what we're looking for. Representation. Join the militia. All right. So, for the Tank Sinatra, Eddie Bravo. It was great to be back. Great to holler at you again. So, we hope we brought you the nuggets that will help you continue on to your fantasy week 11 wins into the playoffs and hopefully lead you to a fantasy football championship. We're signing out.
See you next time.
Go get them.